Hey, I'm Ian, and you're listening to Crit Out of Luck, the Last Song of Arcadia. Find us on social media at Crit Out of Luck, or join our Discord server to chat all things D&D. Stay cool.
When last we left our heroes, what happened?
We took the Hogwarts Express, the Redacted Express to Pig Farts, and
You wind walked to the Mage's College
we walked to the
for,
Mage's College.
Shaq made
for the
people
listener
win.
at home.
We met Magnanimous Ark, who is a centaur, who magnanimously offered to take us to Atla Pashar, our contact who could help us de-monkeyfy the monkey,
The young man.
the young man.
The horny young
He
man.
was turned into a monkey.
I didn't go into that adventure imagining him a horny young man, but here we are.
But then I showed him porn by accident to get him to tell me his name.
And this is why D&D is a collaborative.
And while we were there, she was like, "No problem, I can undo this monkey." So she did, and then she helpfully made us some scrolls of de-animalification for the other 6. And the boy is going to take a little bit more study.
Owlbear.
So Saren dropped the owlbear off at his first day of kindergarten and then cried all the way home, like any good mother. Meanwhile, Hyros and Suri had some heart-to-hearts in the pumpkin patch of Farmer Brown, whose
Farmer
pumpkins...
Maggot's crop.
Yeah. Well,
No relation.
we bribed his farmhand with a lot of money.
Give that sucker
Well,
fucking
Hyros
platinum on
did,
it. Or 10 platinum?
Why I keep giving you guys these large sums of money, you just toss it away in piles.
Yeah,
We
we're all...
bought a house.
That's true.
She's the only former rich kid, and,
Mostly gone to Axel, if we're being honest.
That's true.
My
Yeah.
net worth probably couldn't get a Starbucks.
we've got
My net worth is in the red.
2 ascetics, a country bumpkin, and a
Trust fund baby.
Yeah.
Got cut off.
trust fund deserter.
Yeah.
So they had some heart-to-hearts. We got back, and on the way traveling back, Saren remembered that there was a fetch quest being offered to us.
We all knew this.
No, the Archmage.
Oh, okay.
The Archmage had been reprimanding Atla because magical artifacts had been somehow pilfered from the Mage's College.
Yeah.
But Madison
Do
at
we
first...
know if that's what happened? We just know there was a
There was
break.
a break-in.
There was a break-in. I at first was like, we have too many side quests. But then the DM seemed very disappointed, so...
No, no. Honestly, I can't leave well enough alone. Like I can't introduce a new place to y'all without also having a side quest. So
That's
please, like, pick and choose as you so
We can
as you
play
so
no.
please.
We can
I'm
play
a-
forever.
I'm a,
Ever and
I'm a completionist.
100% in this campaign.
What did we forget?
I mean, there was not a lot of
That's it.
capital H happening,
Yeah, we talked a bunch.
Yeah, it was a big roleplay sesh.
It felt good.
but leaving the little owlbear man behind for temporary purposes is a big one, sure.
Mm.
A strong choice.
Mm-hmm.
See if it pays off for him.
So I think the next plan was to
Jet sets.
Go to Elena.
Totally.
well later.
We're gonna...
The purpose there
Ready
being
for it.
finding,
It's barley or something that he needs, and it's stuck in the Suez Canal right now. It's whatever.
supply chain problems affect everything.
Luther's
Awesome.
barley is stuck on the Ever Given.
He had some ingredients inbound in a ship, which was mysteriously lost, and without it, he will not be able to create his recipe for the ale festival.
Did it get lost en route from Mileto to the
Yeah.
capital? Or just
From the
impounded?
Rashi step, it's in Waledo.
Okay. We were just sitting around the fucking campfire. I was feeding everybody pumpkin gnocchi, basically.
yeah.
It's really good.
Yes, so you spend a good night's sleep, your belly's full of pumpkin gnocchi, and you awake the next day. The time is yours.
The people who were unanimalfied said they were all local.
They
could
had
find
all
their
been
way
taken. So the ones you just rescued were all taken from the same place.
This batch.
Yes, this batch were all this batch were all taken from the same place. So they had determined to just make their own way back home.
With Horny Monkey leading the way,
His name is Mason.
I said what I said.
He's both.
Where's Madame Malfit?
Oh, good question. I guess she would.
No, she's fine. She's not dead, right? She's not fine.
Yeah,
I mean,
we.
her spine got ripped out a little bit.
Yeah, but we.
fixed her,
Kashek
right?
unripped it.
That is true. She would be
Okay.
wherever it is that you left her.
Probably comatose behind her tent.
What do we do with that?
Should we see if she's got any plans to rejoin them?
I mean, it seems pretty clear that they were going to leave her for dead, if I had to guess.
It doesn't seem right to leave her.
Oh, no, I'm not suggesting we should do the same.
She did sort of.
What did you do with her?
Kashek healed her,
Yeah.
and then, or regenerated, whichever one.
Oh, yeah,
It
I
was
think
regenerated,
it was.
actually.
We
Yeah.
kind of just taped her legs back on and went, they're there, and then dealt with our own
Yeah, but the
problems.
7th level version of that, so it worked, actually. And we just kind of, left her to her own devices behind her tent.
No, she was still tied up.
Oh, that's right.
Tied her up.
So we've been, throughout this past day, which has not even been, waking up it's been a day now, but we thought it was going to be several days for you guys to get there and back, and then
Yeah.
you got back at dinner
And then I
time.
remembered I was level 15.
Yeah, then you got back at dinner time.
You can do anything.
So we've been keeping an eye on her, I suppose.
Fair enough. All right. So then, yes, the time's yours.
It doesn't seem right to just leave her here,
No.
same as they did, but at the same time, she did sort of want to take a whole caravan full of people to be done away with in parts unknown.
Do you know, I think
She's not a good person, that's for sure.
there are likely people who could do, who could make much better use of her than we could. If we take her back to the capital, perhaps she can answer questions.
Oh,
She must know something,
that's a good thought.
for
And for
you
what
know
it's
who to react the way that they did.
and for what it's worth, not that I should have an opinion on this, but I think Casca needs an outlet. I'm kind of concerned for her.
Oh, I don't like that idea. But, no. Perhaps our, I can't remember this. Our good friend, guard captain,
Hector?
Hector, who I'm good at faces. Really good at faces.
That's alright, you didn't spend as much time with him as we did, actually.
That's
Barely
so right.
any.
That's so right.
Just the carriage ride.
You
to the
told me
capital.
about his name. That's
Yes.
right. I remember. Now.
Well, yes.
Doing very well. Perhaps we could turn her to his tender care and see, and be done with her. Whatever happens from there, she may be useful to them. So we can either trek back to the capital itself, and then Kashek can do his magic-y thing if he wants to make us wind or whatever that is.
How long would it take to travel back to the capital from here? We're in like.
We're in the Keeplands.
Yeah. So not too long.
It was 2-3 hours by foot?
A couple
Mhm.
hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, a few hours.
So then, my vote would be we could save Kashek and then make our own way back to the capital and then travel to wherever we're going next.
Yes. I think that's what Harris was saying.
Yes.
Oh.
Right.
If that works for you, Master Kashek.
Have we long rested since the long rest when we got back? Because I don't remember having used a 6th level slot. Unless it
You
was
just
to return.
you
just
just
woke
long
up.
rested. You're just waking
Yeah,
up from
okay,
a long rest.
So,
Yes.
We're having leftover pumpkin stuff for breakfast.
It was very good.
It's still good.
I did not have a great deal to work with, but they are excellent pumpkins.
Mm-hmm.
I do feel kind of bad, but not as bad as I maybe could.
I mean, honestly, you did spend a lot of money on them.
No, I suppose that would be
All
a lot.
told.
That's true. That's true.
Correct. So you pack up your bags, and as you go to, as you make your way back around to Madame Malfet's tent or wagon or wherever it is you left her. As you make your way around, you see her still laying where you left her tied up.
I gave her for
And as you come around the corner, she looks at you with a startled and shocked expression on her face, and she says, "Who are you? Are you the one who have tied me up here? What do you intend to do with me?"
yeah, that's what I thought.
What?
Can I just. I feel like I know the answer, but is she giving like an Oscar-worthy performance right now?
Oscar-winning moment!
What are you asking? What kind of check would you like to
Damn, Dwarrick, the one time I could have used Zone of Truth.
If you want to insight check, you may.
Damn, Doric.
19?
If she is, she really deserves that Oscar.
I had a feeling.
Can you tell us what you remember?
Not much of anything, really.
Oh dear.
Who am I?
Oh no.
Oh, I just remembered who she might. This is Robin talking. I
Yeah.
just remembered who she might be related to.
You were a bit hostile to us last night,
I was
but if that's all over with now, we'd be happy to untie you.
hostile. No, I wouldn't hurt a fly. At least I don't think I
I
would.
think you might.
Hey,
I don't actually say that. You don't remember your name?
No,
As I'm untying her.
no. Where? Well, this is all so strange.
Alright, we won't hurt you.
Where are we? Why am I tied up? What's happening?
you know the Republic of Arcadia.
Think so?
Do you know the name Madame Malfait? That is the name we were told to call you.
To call me?
Yes.
A rather grim title.
Does the name Mariotrope ring any bells for you?
Very true. No. I'm afraid not. Is that another name for me?
No, you just remind us of someone. That's all.
A seamstress that we know in the capital city.
Well, what does that have to do with me?
She may know something about you.
Oh,
There was a bit of bad business we were looking into last night that I think you may have been mixed up in, which is why we needed to tie you up before you hurt anyone else.
a bit of bad business. Well, is that why I can't remember a thing?
That's probably
Could
it.
be.
Man,
Gently.
I'll be gentle. Kashek walks up, just standing in front of her. How tall is she?
5'6".
So she's taller than Kashek
There you go.
by a fair amount.
Mm-hmm.
So I just kind of walk in front of her.
She's still like laying down as you've been untying.
Can we? I'll pick her up and let her stand. I mean,
As you maybe offer a taloned hand to lift her up, she extends one of her own and takes it. And as she goes to stand, she winces and pain racks her entire body, and like her hands fly around to like hold at her back. What's happened to me? It's such intense pain.
new or like this is like the residual pain from what happened. Okay.
We kind of had to scotch tape your legs back on, buddy.
That's not what she's grabbing though.
Yeah,
Yeah,
That's where her spider
That's
legs
where the
are.
legs
Spider legs come out of
Oh, the
spine.
okay.
Yeah.
You said legs, not spider legs. I might as well try this. Well, first I'm going to do what I was thinking of because it's funny. So I put her on her feet,
Okay. Yeah, she sort of tenderly gets up to her feet.
and I stand in front of her like a foot or two away. Just like normal amount of startled.
You're trying to scare her?
Not scare her. No.
I said gently!
I didn't touch her. I did not touch her. Just like a normal startle response, or like is there like a flash in the eyes?
Oh, I see.
Okay, so what do you do exactly? You just like make a
Trying to,
sudden...
like,
He just puffs himself up.
Okay, great.
Here, he does the thing that I know Barnhouse can't do, but I don't care.
Yeah, sure. Okay,
So if I'm doing an insight check, like just I'm checking is like this regular like, oh, this man is doing something weird startle response, or like
gotcha. Give me an intimidation check.
okay. Nah, 3. I'm a little owl.
That's so cute. It's adorable.
To be fair though, I think after what I did to her, if she could remember that,
Yeah. Right.
that might modify it a bit.
Right, exactly. Right, so you puff yourself up, and she sort of stands there, still rubbing at her back sorely. She's like, are you alright?
And then in addition to that, as a Hail Mary,
Mm-hmm.
I am going to cast Dispel Magic on her. So sand comes out of the rabbit skull, and surrounds her and, well, passing through her ears might be a little bit weird, but
It's like flossing, but worse.
Sandpapering her brain.
It has been affected.
I cut her loose.
Was she?
She's
Sure.
tied up.
Sure.
This is not the woman we dealt with yesterday.
No, I was suspecting as much.
I'm terribly sorry. You all seem a fair sort, but I'm very weary and a large amount of pain. My head is positively throbbing. Could I impose on you for a bit of aid?
We are going to travel back to the capital now. I think it would be in everyone's best interest if you came with us.
Yes, I don't want to be a bother. It's just I don't know where to go or what else to do. I can't remember anything. Until any sort of memory comes back to me, I'm afraid I'm a bit useless.
At the very least, there'll be healers there.
Yes, perhaps that would do me some good. So I may travel with you?
Yes.
Please do. We will make our way back there, and we have our own business beyond that, but we can see you safely to the capital and to some people who might be able to help you.
That is wondrous kind and very generous, thank you.
Do let us know if anything comes back to you in the meantime.
Certainly I will, yes, thank you.
For now, my name is Hyros. It is a pleasure to meet you, my lady.
Hi, Rose. I shall endeavour to remember that.
Shall I then?
Let's do.
I'm afraid I wish I could offer a name in return. I don't much care for the pseudonym you referred to me as earlier. It was rather grim.
It is, I think, yeah.
Well, you know more about my situation, I believe, than I do. What would you like to call me?
Well, I think that's entirely up to you.
Well,
Oh, I have an idea. What about Merryweather?
Merryweather?
Oh, I don't know, it just sounds
Well, this is the first thing that I can really remember, and it is quite a fine
I
day.
would say so, yes.
Listen to the birds.
I suppose it's as suitable as anything else. Very well, I shall be Merryweather.
Think of it as perhaps a wish for things to come.
I like that. Yes. Well, I shan't hold up your business any longer. Let's be away.
Let's do.
And so you set out. What?
I wanted to see an interrogation scene play out.
Sorry, but
No, that's fine. Hyros A would not want that. B would not be there for it. But Ian was like,
The
yeah.
interrogation scene with the amnesiac and the 5-foot-tall owl?
Do you think I'm an idiot? Thank you, M&S.
yeah, you make your way back to the city. It doesn't take very long at all, being out just out in the keeplands, and before too long, you are back at the banks, taking the boat across to the capital itself.
If she needs a hand at any point, I will place myself as next to her as to be available without being like, oh, are you okay?
Mm-hmm.
You know?
I have a question. While we're out there, do we pass my old house?
You could,
Okay.
if you wanted to.
I don't know, is it on the way?
I don't know if it's like right on the road back, but
You'd
yeah.
probably go into your gated community first.
There's a homeowners association,
Yeah.
there's like a whole gate.
Well,
I
you
don't
know,
think they'd let a bunch of us in.
once we're walking
You
3
need to know
hours...
someone inside to get in
Do
there.
you want me to burn it down?
Once
Not yet, Kashak.
Once we're walking 3 hours, what's an extra 3 hours and 20 minutes, though? You know?
No, I mean, I wasn't gonna go in anyway.
Careful, this owl's 5'2" now.
Perhaps, like, from a distance, you can see it sat up on a hill, you know, on the horizon. You know?
Okay. I just think about it and look.
Is something wrong?
Wonder who that's for.
No. Why?
You look distracted, that's all. I kind of linger on the earring for a second. Alright.
What?
Nothing. Is it so strange that I might need to check in every once in a while? while.
No, I'm sorry. I just. What do you think is wrong? Because I feel like you're asking leading questions.
Well, it's just you had like a 1,000-yard stare for a moment, that's all.
I don't know.
I'm not equipped to do this.
Me neither, clearly!
Sir, what is wrong? Saturn wanted me to ask you.
Thank you, Kishay.
I assume they're next to each other.
Yes.
Wait, is something wrong?
I appreciate it.
What seems to be the problem?
Oh, now you've troubled Merryweather.
Clark, is something wrong with Sari?
Oh, yeah. Sorry, are you okay?
Okay, listen, alright. Nothing's wrong. We're near where I grew up.
Oh, thank God. I mean, that's not good.
What did you think was
I
wrong?
don't know. I thought maybe
What do you mean?
something was happening.
What do you mean? What do I mean?
What do you mean where you grew up?
We
Did you grow up all at once?
No, it took several years, but I was in the same place the whole time.
Were you trapped?
Yes, I was.
Okay, so now we've got a double misunderstanding.
Backstories collide!
But they've misunderstood so much that he's actually got it.
Yes.
Yeah, I was. Like,
It's all the way back around to fully comprehend.
Christian Bale and Kermit just going,
Kishak just absolutely imagined you in like a pupa or something, like a chrysalis.
yeah.
Well, that was just supposed to be like the fun little like Kashek didn't grow up in one place, and then it was like, oops, Kashek stumbled onto the trauma, but he doesn't realize it.
You met my parents!
He doesn't know how social dynamics work.
Are you going to be okay?
I'm fine. I was just thinking about it, that's all.
Do you need to take a trip to the desert?
Maybe, but probably not right now. I think it can wait.
I do start to miss it.
Oh. Well, we
Well-
can go.
once we finish this business in
Yes.
the Waylaid place, do we have our schedule opens wide up?
I would like to see the moonlit river again.
Yes, that sounds nice.
Yes, I know.
The warm does not bother me so much, so I would not mind this.
Oh, hot Elsa. The warm doesn't bother me.
No, it doesn't.
I'm sure it's the first time that phrase has been spoken.
Hold it in, hold it in.
It's Saren's theme song. I know all of your hair came off at once.
That's why we constantly need cameras going.
Wing! Gay!
All of Freddy's characters can cast wig as a cantrip. It's a feat that I always
It's
take.
a homebrew thing.
As long as it's against Madison's character.
Yeah. Anyway, moving on.
Merryweather, a fun bit of trivia for you and your list of things to know about.
Well, to be nice to start knowing things again.
Well, here's one of them. When my friends and my daughter were here last time, they fought a big old worm that was purple.
What?
Yes, there was an enormous worm that came from underground and tried to eat people, and they fought it and they slew it in open combat.
Now I fear that when you're imagining a worm, you might be imagining the little wriggly things from.
Is what I was imagining, and I don't know for what reason you have any cause to fight one.
Oh, 300 feet
It
long.
was very
Imagine
big,
that,
like
but enormous.
it swallowed me
Whole.
and my sister.
Those just exist in the world.
What?
Deep underground.
She has at least retained her memory of worms.
What? If
That's good.
If I may be so bold, what is it exactly that you all do?
We fight worms.
We have fought worms.
We are adventurers.
Uh-huh.
Heroes. We go around and solve problems of people all over the place.
Is that why you were wherever you found me?
Yes.
Yes.
We were looking for information.
I like.
Was I causing a problem?
Well, the good news is, it seems as though you weren't acting of your own volition, and so no.
What
Was you bury the lead?
what she means is there were people who were in control of you and some other folk, I think, who were attempting some nefarious deeds.
That is troubling.
Music, never mind.
This is all a lot to take in. It's making my head swim.
Don't want to overwhelm you, Merryweather.
No. Well, now that we've reached the capital, I suppose I should make my own way.
If I may, should we make
Very true.
an introduction?
Someone who may know where to begin to help you understand, I think.
And if not, then at least you'll have made a friend.
Someone who you think could help me?
Yes.
We hope so. It's hard to know, of course. We don't know much about you, and you don't know much about you, so we're trying something.
Well, I suppose it's as good a shot as any now.
You are among friends, Madam Meriwether.
Well, how comforting.
It is sort of our business to help people.
Well then, by all means, lead on.
To Madam Meriwether, then.
Got to profile the fuck out of this woman. Just a homebrew race of spider people who are about to be like, do you know her?
Okay, here's the thing though.
No,
we
but
don't know.
We didn't know that either of them were spider people until they decided to tell us that they were spider people.
Yeah, you're right.
Also, Speeple.
Until they decided to tell us they were speeple. I'm
Thank
sorry.
you.
To Madame Mariotropes.
Crikey.
Off you go. So you make your way through the city until into the Grand Square, making your way to Madame Mariotropes. As you make your way in, it is the scene is one very familiar, cluttered stools and benches covered in fine fabrics. As per usual, the counter remains unattended. And making your way inside and announcing your presence, you hear the familiar voice from the back call out, "Oh, it's so good to see you all again!" And she makes her way out from behind that sort of silken curtain behind the counter. And as she steps forward, her beaming smile at the thought of seeing you all again instantly turns to a face of utter shock and then rage.
Oh
Hang on.
You
What?
got some nerve coming back in here! And Meriwether immediately, like, her eyes go wide with horror, and she starts, like, backing
I
up
like to
again
put a
back
hand
towards
on
the
her.
door.
Yeah.
Spider fight.
We can probably explain. I think.
What? Well,
You know, fair point, Kashay? Fair point.
We can probably offer more detail.
how is it that you've come into the company of my sister? This is all very, very strange.
Well, she doesn't really remember either.
What?
Short story is this. We ran into her while she was in the employ of the Canny Shepherds, as you may know, doing some nefarious deeds. She was doing... Something happened to her. She was done a horrible agony pain for her, and then Kashek helped heal her better, and then she woke up and she can't remember anymore. It seems as though they left her for dead and also took her memories and maybe were controlling her mind.
Now, I'm not a very good storyteller, so
I'm under duress. This is difficult.
I don't want to give notes, but you maybe wanted to work on the finer details there.
Wait, I said long story short.
You delivered all the information in
Good size.
a quick amount of time.
Thank you.
I'll hear it from her mouth and her mouth only. Now, Mina, you've got a lot of explaining to do.
That's you, Meriwether.
What?
That's you.
That's
You- I guess. I don't know.
You are. And she looks at Mariotropes. What Hyro says is true. I don't know what I may have done to cause you such anger in the past, but whatever it is, I all I can do is apologize. I can't explain why I may have done what I did, or I hope that I may have had good reason, but maybe I didn't, and if that's the case, then I am well and truly sorry. But these four have been so kind to me, and at a time when they needn't have, and so I would ask you not to blame them or grow angry with them, and reserve your anger for me for whatever it is I may have done. And Mariotropes, this is so frustrating. So long have I dreamt of our reunion, and
I can't even be proper mad at you because you can't remember anything, who you are. Where did you find her?
Who is she?
My sister. She, well, you all know who I am, what I am.
That's sort of what tipped us off.
We are not, of this world, you know, and we came here to share our gifts with the people of this place. And when we did so, when we crossed over the border, we were bound, we made an oath to each other that we would only ever use our gifts to weave things that brought color and protection into the world.
Capital W world?
What do you mean?
Capital W
Like-
order? Because everything there
Fey
actually,
vibes?
that can go either way.
Fae vibes?
Or like world beneath vibes, or like,
Yeah.
Anyway,
It could even mean another. I mean, it could even mean another political nation. Everything you said, like,
yeah.
fits.
Anyway.
Yeah, I see.
It's you don't have to tell us.
Fair
Yeah.
enough.
But it was never enough for you, Mina, was it? Caught up in the glamour and the all the fuss of those shepherds. I told you they were no good, Mina. How many times did I tell you? But would you listen? No. Oh, God. What use is it now? So you've seen them, the shepherds, I take it.
Yes.
Yes.
We dealt with them as best we could, but their leader escaped us. We rescued the poor souls they had trapped.
You know, awfully convenient your mind's been. What, you can't tell us anything about them or what they were up to? What you did for them? I don't know. It all seems just a little too convenient, Mina. I don't know if I can... I understand. I can see I've upset you, and this is not a place for me to be. I'll make my own way. I'm sorry to have bothered you.
And your friend Meriwether sort of begins to turn and go.
We can find a healer. We can see if someone might be able to, I don't know, undo something.
At the very least, Mayweather, allow us to get you a room at the local inn, perhaps, so you don't have to be out on the road.
You've already done more than enough for me. I couldn't possibly trouble you anymore. I'll take my way. It's a new me. Perhaps it's best I find a new life for myself on my own.
Mariotra, what you have to understand is the way the shepherds operate, it's not... I don't think many go to them of their own free will. They're manipulative, and especially the one they work for is...
His way is control.
Yes, that's all he wants.
Perhaps your sister once went there, at first out of interest, but even if that was untainted, it could not have been long so.
I'm not saying you have to forgive her
No.
right here, right now. I'm just saying the influence they have is unnatural.
Both of you give me a persuasion check.
Blessing of the morning lord
Yeah!
still exists.
Sure do.
Oh, fuck.
14.
Okay. 14
Morning
and
more
10.
to sleep. Who dis?
Wait, wait.
New
I
morning,
lied,
who dis?
I lied. 17. Whew,
Okay,
reliable talent.
The Morning Lord's like, I hear you've been hanging out with the Luminary.
Mm.
Who is he?
Who likes the luminary? No one in this house.
I rolled a 5 and a 4. It's my fault.
Okay.
I did get 17.
She kind of, behind her enormous, glasses.
Bottle, yeah.
her sort of like bottle cap glasses.
Love this.
She kind of screws up her face and she's like,
I want to believe you. I do. And she seems like, this may sound strange, but she's lost her memory, but she seems more herself now.
I know it's difficult. Maybe just think on it.
We don't know what could happen to her if they learn that she lives still.
You think she could be in danger?
I think it's likely if they find out. And I know you may not love who she was, but perhaps for the love you once bore her as a sister.
When we were in Barovia, the influence of something that powerful can often corrupt. And there is some fault to allowing it to take root in you in the first place, but it's a very hard plant to remove by oneself.
And the last thing I will say is, these things take many forms. It is possible that you are correct and that she is deceiving you in some way. But you will not know.
The three of you, everyone who spoke, three of you, give me another persuasion roll.
You trying to do anything to
Not the -1 modifier.
him? Well, Saren tried.
That was a -1 modifier.
Yeah.
It's another 17.
Oh, that's so much more better.
16.
17, 16.
19.
Great. Oh, that'll clear. That'll clear. Yeah. Do this new thing I'm in love with is cumulative checks.
I love, yeah, those are
Do
fun.
you know what I mean? But yeah, that's
It's kind of like a skill challenge, but to the left. Or not at all.
She's family. Even after all we've been through, how can we turn her away? And if she really can't remember anything, perhaps it's a chance to make things better. Guide her in a better path. All right.
and she turns back to her sister.
All right, Mina. You can stay.
On one condition. You may not remember much, and so it's up to me then to teach you everything you should know, so I expect you to follow my lead. Are we clear? I know you don't know me from anyone else at the moment, but I promise I'll do my best to untangle your web.
It was mostly the face that you made that made me laugh.
What?
That's nice.
He looks so proud of himself.
Whatever.
Affectionate! He's so proud of himself.
It's-
Affectionate.
Good.
And Mina, or / Merriweather, turns to her sister and says,
Something about it's foggy. Something about the shine on those glasses.
you are my sister, aren't you? And she turns back to the four of you.
You all have done me such a kindness. You had no reason to be good to me. In fact, you perhaps had reason to do exactly the opposite, but instead you chose to help me. You're truly some of the best of your kind, and I can only thank you.
The world does not turn because people have reasons for doing kindness for each other. You have to generate it yourself.
And in fairness, we have been victim to our own kindness before. But that is what we live for.
Well, I promise to make the most of this second chance, and I do hope that I see you all again.
Your sister here is quite gifted in the weaving arts.
The most stupendously so. Speaking of which, business has been booming ever since you wore your draperies out amongst the Republic. So if you're ever in need of fine attire again, you know where to come.
We are going to a wedding soon.
Are you?
Eventually.
In some months' time.
Yes.
No need to rush.
You just come see me whenever it is you need.
You would give us a different set of garments from the one you already bought?
Absolutely, I would.
Is that how formal clothing works?
Yes,
We
you
both-
may have many outfits for many different occasions, yes.
You can't appear at an important function wearing the same outfit of clothes more than once, do you?
That's so.
Please, allow me.
I promise you can.
I've done it before. It's so wasteful.
Yes, it is.
Not if we keep the clothing.
Don't think of it as wasteful. Think of it as an expression.
Oh.
The way you dress is an opportunity to tell someone something about you. It's a gift. Your dress can supply hours, weeks, months of getting to know someone in just a simple moment. It can tell you someone that you're passionate, or that you're reserved. It can tell you, it can tell someone your mood. It can tell someone just the secret innards of your heart. Do not think of it as wasteful. Think of it as an expression and a gift to all those who may look upon you.
And your finery certainly is a gift.
And so if you wear the same thing more than once to a fine affair, well, then you're not telling anyone anything new, are you?
Well, when it comes time to get to a wedding, we shall be sure to let you know in plenty of time, madam.
You're always welcome.
If I may intrude upon you for just another moment,
By all means.
from what world did you come?
Well, not all secrets can be told in clothes.
Fair enough.
Far be it from us to intrude, my lady. Your sister, who for the past couple hours has been going by Merryweather, entirely up to her whether that sticks or not, I don't know. I just think it's nice.
Merryweather, eh? Well, suppose a new moniker is fitting for a new start. What do you think? Oh, me? Yes, it's... The weather on this day on which I have been given a new life is very fine, so I think it rather appropriate. I tend to agree.
Do they look similar?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Like twin similar or sibling similar?
Because they appear humanish. You know?
They do, yeah. Yeah, they definitely do. They kind of like, yeah, they look, like twins, but they have, but just with enough, not like identical twins, but
Turns.
yeah.
Clearly
yeah.
siblings.
Yeah, very clearly siblings.
Okay.
Mhm.
Good, we didn't accidentally do a fantasy racism.
Yes.
We actually
Sounds
found
It sounds like we couldn't have.
we
What are
actually
the odds?
found the only two,
Yeah.
so that's good.
Well,
Go
actually,
us.
they have two other siblings named Flora and Fauna.
Fuck!
Very true.
Yes.
Thank you. It's no small thing to have a sister.
I must admit, I have missed her over all this time, even things ending as they did. I must admit, it is good to see her again, safe and whole.
Yes.
Merryweather, on the off chance that any murderous thoughts happen to come back,
What?
just if they do, stick with me. So wave at them as they pass by. That's all. Your sister is very valuable, not just to us, but to this community, and to you, I think.
And we'll be again, with any luck. Thank you.
We all need second chances.
Yes, I suppose you're right. Now that I've been given one, I see that more than ever.
Good luck.
Do come visit.
We will. Make no mistake. We consider Madame Mary Tropier, your sister, a good friend of ours.
Please, flattery will get you everywhere.
You shall see us again, madam.
Most excellent.
Hi, Rose. Am I forgetting something? Did you have something to pick up from Axel?
Maybe. I thought he would let us know, but it's good to check in.
It's only been like
It's
a
been like a
day.
week and a half. Yeah. Between when we talked to him and the actual performance in the Keeplands.
Oh yeah, I forgot. We spent some time with Corrals. That's why
Yeah.
Clark's here.
Clark is outside. He's
He could have come in.
he's
Clark.
trying not to remove windows from buildings. What are you gonna do?
It's just so he can get a better look at you.
Yeah, just something to do. Just keep an eye. Just in case he has to give his life for me.
Yes,
Just
exactly.
keep an eye
He's
out.
actually like a bird where if you
He's very. Oh yeah, he's a very quiet fellow. Our Clark.
Bugbears are naturally stealthy.
He's just.
Yeah.
That's
It
an actual
really
thing.
Yeah, that actually works out great. Then you always forget he's there.
Fuck!
Get a bell
Laura,
for
we're gonna
him.
get a bell for you. Then as we're leaving,
Mhm.
you know, if I had a silver piece for every time we returned an estranged family member to a slightly grumpy family member, we'd have 2 silver pieces.
I do.
And that's not a lot, but it is kind of strange that it only happened twice.
Oh, we've
Do you
Wait.
want money?
No, I got 2 silver pieces.
That's happened several times.
returned a lot of family members to other family members.
Yeah.
Weird.
Clark?
Yeah,
Clark.
weird.
Yeah. Weird. Great. So you go. That was cool. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, thanks for going with us on that.
You know, that's what it's all about. So you've after successfully
We did it.
reuniting the Spider Sisters, a quest you didn't even know you had.
It gets us a
That's the
passive
best kind of
thought,
quest.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
It's an unmarked quest. We
It's
like
also-
this.
Hidden
It's-
achievement, it's good.
The funny one where you show up and it's like, could you get me or destroy this thing or whatever? And then the next dialogue option is, I took care of that thing for you. And you go, oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Are we going to the Queen's etc.?
Iris, did you want to check on your axle from Axel?
It was an axe, I believe.
Look, I gave him a very limited parameters.
Oh shit! Yeah, I wrote it down, but I don't know where. What did you ask for?
Basically, a special axe that can do something more than a regular axe can. If that's not ready yet, we can totally not worry about
I
that.
think I remember
see
him
him.
saying he doesn't work on Wednesdays, so...
Oh, you're right. What the fuck's a Wednesday?
He's on sabbatical.
As you like. I've got it. If you do want to go.
No, I'm just curious.
We could always pop over and if he's not in, he's not in.
I figure while we're here before we become wind and go to a different place. Just an idea.
Yeah, we might need it.
Alright.
Alright, let's go.
To the Queen's, etc.
Across the square!
So
Yeah, it's
make
still
your
in
way-
the grand square, right?
It is.
Yeah.
Yes. It's a primo location which you all paid for. Thank you very much.
Oh boy, we sure did.
You're welcome.
Why don't we ever have any
Great
money?
Personal expense. I have
I got
several.
Was that it, or was there something else? Does anybody did somebody else ask for something?
One of you.
No, we
one
just
of
got it for free because
I got my
Axel likes me.
That's right. That's right.
No, we did say the next thing would be half price. But
It's
that's
better than full price.
after the free thing that Surrey got for us.
What, do you
You swindled a free item out of him and his coat in the same conversation.
I wasn't even trying to get it for free. I was just trying to get you a discount.
You want to see me swindle this tiefling by being hot?
It's like the
Want to see me do it again?
It's like at the cast party after your high school production where you steal somebody's hat and wear it around all night.
That's what fucking Campbell celebrated. That's exactly what happened.
Okay, anyway,
It's
so you make your way to the Queen's, etc., making your way in. The familiar sight greets you, all of the various portraits of this same raven-haired woman.
Is that kind of flirting? Is that what that is?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
fuck.
Stealing the hat?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Shit.
Stop trying to take it back. It's mine now.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Anyway, all the portraits that, as you make your way in, are all different. Still with the same lady, but in various. There's no one behind the desk. As you enter in, the time is yours.
Is there a bell?
Of course, there's a bell. There's always a bell.
You want me to ring it?
Do you want to ring his bell?
Is that euphemism? Yes.
Yeah. So it dings. You ring the bell and it echoes out for a moment, and from the back room you hear a few shambling sounds, a few muttered curses, and an explosion. And then Axel emerges through the back door, looking a little bit charred.
No hurry. Sorry.
Oh, my friend, I didn't expect you today. How are you? Good to see you.
Doing great. We were about to be on our way out of town for a little while, and we thought we'd check in. You had mentioned being able to find some sort of smashy thing that allows me to smash in.
Oh, yes, the axe! Yes! Oh, absolutely. Although I have gone through great pains, Axel always provides.
Oh.
Just give me 1 minute.
Oh,
He
take
goes
your-
back, and a few minutes. It comes back out.
I didn't know you'd have it that quickly.
With a long parcel in this, like, in a long sort of maroon box with a purple ribbon wrapped around it.
The axe is in there.
From my big purple friend.
Wow.
This is a special. This is a special.
He's purple.
He's purple,
yeah, but that's
you're
fine.
blue.
Oh yeah, you're blue, aren't you?
That's fine.
Yes.
That's fine. These
That's
things
fine.
happen.
Yeah.
From my big blue boy. Special order. Now, whenever it is I go out on a hunt for a particular item,
Talk to me.
especially for a friend, I always think to myself, well, the best gifts are ones that demonstrate an understanding either of that person or their interests. And so I think you'll be particularly pleased with this.
Okay.
The axe is made of pancakes.
I was going to go for doubles as a frying pan. Because you could actually make that work, kind of.
That would have been good.
More of a maul, but yeah.
It might degrade the metal over time. Yeah.
Not as
More of
magic.
a hammer.
Not
He
what I
hasn't
thought of.
opened it yet.
Yeah.
Go ahead and open her up.
Oh, okay. Top comes off great. Easy.
As you open it up, it is a fine great axe, the handle of which looks not even necessarily carved, but is just the smooth bow of a tree, with the end little branches with still green leaves tapering off at the end. This, my friend, is the axe of the woodsman.
That's me.
I know it is, big guy.
How did you know? Did I tell you that?
I have my ways.
Oh, wow. What does it do? I mean, it's great on its own. Is there anything I should know about it?
Well, it's a tool that will suit any man of the forest. It gives a +1 to attacks, and also allows you to cast Speak with Animals and Speak with Plants once per day.
Wow. Hello, Mr. 3, can you hear me? I have some bad news.
I'm so sorry.
I was like, if this is a genie, it wouldn't be voluntary. So just holding the axe, you can hear the tree scream.
Thank you, I'm sorry. Thank you, I'm sorry.
I mean, I suppose you could use it for that purpose if you're feeling particularly macabre that day, but otherwise...
I don't think I've ever felt macabre once in my life.
No, you don't strike me as the sort.
This is wonderful. Thank you so much, Axel.
I'm happy to provide.
Oh, this is very exciting.
Well, when you come to the queens, etc., your needs are always satisfied.
Wow. Do you need more axes?
Do you want me to go find another one?
Oh, I don't know. Not right now.
How have you been?
Great, grand as ever. You know, now the business is back up and running and all of my outstanding debts have been paid off, thanks in no small part to all of you. Things get easier.
Sorry, I'm laughing at Madison twiddling her D20
Yeah, I was kind
for
of
the
doing
listener
that.
at home.
Can I make an insight
Can
check?
I also, please?
Robin can do with it, man.
Fuck yeah.
Oh,
Insight.
19?
Ugh. 5.
Siri makes that noise out loud.
No.
19, 5. 5 on with advantage?
I'm not very wise.
That's interesting.
What?
Okay. I mean, he's slightly scorched, but otherwise he seems actually to be okay. I mean, he's always his like you've known him for quite some time now. His stress level always seems to be higher than he lets on, but generally, you know, he seems okay. You get distracted, sir, because your earring starts fluttering.
Visibly?
No.
It's good to hear.
Yes, well, you know, I do hate to chop things short, but I've got a lot,
Yes.
a lot going on today. Working with some pretty delicate compounds back here, if you couldn't tell. So, is there anything else you'll be needing today?
No,
I'm fine.
thank you.
That was very kind of you, Axel. Thank you.
Well, you know, we have a business arrangement. I'm always happy to. What?
Freddie just made the...
Kashek? What?
Shaq hadn't done anything.
Well, Actually, I know you're very busy. We'll let you go in just a moment. But if you ever happen to want an escape for a little while, to sort of maybe take a breather outside the bounds of the city, my home is certainly open to a friend such as you.
That's very kind of you. But my work is my passion, so I gotta get back to it now. But I'll be sure to take you up on that offer if things should work out that way. Admiring the lovely artworks, are you?
Axel,
Yeah.
we're friends now. We're here for you.
I much appreciated, but I think really it's best, if at this juncture we keep our business strictly professional. Do you know what I mean?
I don't, but okay, we'll be on our way.
If that's what you want.
Well, I mean, not that I can't blame you. I am rather hard to resist, but really, you all, much as I'm flattered by your outpouring of emotionality, I really am just here for the gold.
Of course.
Are you in pain?
Me? No, well, I mean, a little singed, but otherwise.
Sorry, emotional pain.
Me? No. Easy breezy.
He's very busy. We've intruded on his time. We should leave him be.
No. I mean, always happy to welcome you in if there's going to be exchanged. But otherwise, I do have quite a bit to get to today. I'm terribly sorry.
I will very pointedly just tuck my hair behind my ear and.
Well, that's it. I just have to be back to it.
We'll leave you to it then.
Thank you. Do come back anytime.
Good luck.
Trying my best to hold eye contact
Me too.
and then leave.
Thank you for the odds.
Put it to good use. Just careful, don't go chopping down any of the timbers around these parts. We folk don't take too kindly to that kind of business.
Sorry, Ian's
A man speaking from experience.
Well, look forward to speaking with you again, Axel.
I look forward to spending your coin again.
You're a fine young man.
Yeah. I've been accused of worse.
We should leave him.
Mm-hmm.
If you need anything.
What can I possibly need? I've got my shop, I've got my work. What else is there?
We'll be on our
Let's
way.
go.
Mm-hmm. You do so. Back out into the street.
What's that face you're making, Hyrax?
I know what an I'm in trouble face looks like.
Yes.
That man is in trouble,
Yes, he is.
and he will not ask for help. Possibly because he cannot. Whether emotionally or because he's being watched.
Yeah.
Interesting. He is being adopted, do not resist.
No!
New son acquired.
Hyros is not an intellectual man, but he can psychoanalyze anyone on the basis of being father.
As we're leaving, can I make a mental note to remember everything I can about the woman in the portrait?
Her physical appearance?
Yeah.
Sure, yeah.
It doesn't change drastically from the portraits, right? It's like the same in everyone.
Yes, it's the same woman in every single portrait, very clearly.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Anything stand out, or just freakishly beautiful long dark hair?
Freakishly beautiful, long, dark hair. Her eyes are
I
like,
think?
yeah, they're like sort of that, like a chartreuse, like purpley kind of color.
Human-ish?
Chartreuse.
Yeah.
Human in appearance, but with like very sharp features and sort of like ephemeral.
It's a different color spectrum in Arcadia.
Well, tieflings see it different.
Yeah, I'll wait to do that then. I just am lost in thought, kind of agreeing with you two to myself and thinking about that.
I like the implication that the storm music at the Queen's Etc. is lo-fi beats instead. It's very fitting.
He needs something relaxed. He's stressing.
Well, shall we to waylaid then?
Yes.
Mhm.
Sorry, I'm thinking.
You've got your adoption face on.
Yeah, what are you thinking?
Not right now, but we will help him. He needs it. He has not received much help in his life, and the help he has received has been transactional.
It does come at a price.
What does?
The help he's received.
What do you mean?
Remember I told you he and I are in similar situations.
Oh, something along the lines of, yes.
I don't know what it is. What the nature of their relationship is. I'm just saying I know he and I have an understanding.
We may want to be careful discussing it so close to.
I hadn't thought about that.
Let's leave.
The windows are open.
He's like,
He's in there like ding, 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 ding.
15 times for help me, and also
No.
leave.
We're walking.
he's like Morse code, like.
We've been walking as we talked.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I hope you will
As always.
forgive me, sorry, but Rhea mentioned briefly a little bit about the conversation you may have had with her.
I told you guys.
Right. Okay.
Iris just likes attributing things to his wife.
Credit where it's due,
but
even
we-
when it's not due.
Ren and I did have a very nice conversation, yes.
And you think he's in that sort of trouble?
I pretty much know. We talked about it a bit. Before I told all of you,
Ooh.
that's sort of why we went into the bottle. It was, a quest for...
I was just guessing.
Well, what he told me was that he's got something to pay back. I don't know exactly what it is.
Yeah, essentially, like,
No matter how much you pay, the debt.
By the time I find the way to pay something back, the debt is accrued. Or the interest is accrued.
yeah, essentially.
And I thought
Someone else told me he doesn't. He's got a hard fucking time. But I don't say that.
Does
to you
Iris not
guys.
have a 100% track record of adopting
Tieflings?
both tieflings that he's met?
Every both.
All both of them,
Yeah.
All both of them.
Needs more data, but
So, you're back out in the city.
Shall we to Waylaid then?
Yes.
Sort of, like that way, I guess, yeah.
Yes.
You have your foldable boat. If you know that it's along the coast, so you have
Yes,
your
have a
foldable boat if
boat.
you want to use that to get there, or you could whatever you want to do.
We were, I believe, talking about
Kashek's
you-
wings are twitching.
using Kashek's help, if that's something you're willing to do.
What
That's
is
right.
being wind like?
Would you like to find out?
Will I throw up?
With what?
Oh, he does get
Oh.
motion sickness.
No, you become
Carriage
the-
sickness.
So if you don't have a body, I don't see how you could be sick.
That's an excellent logic that I do not know how to refute. So yes. We
Let's
follow
do
the
it.
coast, we should be fine, yes?
I think so.
Sure.
Let's look at a map.
Let's look at the door.
That doesn't sound right, but I don't know enough about being wind to speak this.
Yeah. Like, what's the point when everyone is at level 15? Like, what's
Yeah.
the fucking point?
It's just a matter of how many times a day you can do it.
Yeah.
We can take the boat.
Hours. Yeah,
That's
no,
why we have it.
you can
The
absolutely.
storm. There could be a storm brewing.
We can swim.
You come across a giant vacuum in the
It's
sky.
tornado.
No, yeah, you can windwalk there. Yeah.
Yeah, and that lasts for 8 hours, right?
Yep, it sure does.
Cool.
And we move at, what, 600 feet?
Yeah.
That's fast.
Here's a question: is there anywhere on the map that we
you have a-
cannot reach with that?
Not really. You have a flying speed of 300 feet. Yeah. And it lasts for 8 hours. Yeah, you could basically go anywhere.
Yeah, that's so 21
Pilots.
Jump Street.
You know, I'm not going to try to do that.
Hijack.
Oh, you want to do math? I'll do math.
No.
Okay.
Kashek does one giant flap of his wings, and everybody disappears into a huge gust of
That's
wind.
awesome. That is the point. That is the function of the spell. So actually,
Yeah.
like, that's great. That's
Yeah.
It's
really
pure,
cool. to
it
have
takes
that.
a minute to cast, so
Yeah,
it cannot be used in combat.
That's really cool to have that. Yeah. So you all sort of like transmogrify into naught but wind.
Yeah, we didn't really establish that last time. Can we communicate?
Yeah,
It doesn't
we did.
explicitly
Yes.
say we
Yeah.
can.
It functions like gaseous form in that way.
That's right. That's
I was
right.
talking to you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I even if it did specify, I have no problem with you talking.
You won't throw up, will you?
I don't think I can.
How do you
Try.
feel? How do you feel?
This is actually really cool. Is this what flying is like, Ajay?
What would you call it?
I mean, you usually just use wings to do it.
Oh, well, yes and no.
Oh.
Flying takes a little bit more skill because you can fall and die.
Oh.
You cannot fall in fire right now.
That's good to know. 1 and 2, I love it. I think. Wow.
Thank you for flying Air Kashek.
I should agree to address those experiments. This is great.
Maybe don't.
No.
Kashek said, I don't have time for therapy for all of you. We're just...
At least have a backlog.
I'm still seeing Dora 3 times a week.
Yeah.
It's exhausting.
So off you take.
So-
in windy form. Yeah.
We can just sort of follow the coast.
Yeah, you know that it's on. You know that it's on the coast.
Oh look,
so,
the big city on the coast.
just following the coast eastward. Yeah.
It'll look different now.
So you follow the coast eastward, overpassing lands to which you have not visited yet. Well, maybe some of you have. At least before the at least not during the campaign. Yes.
And it's okay if not. How high in the air would Kashek need to be to see the desert?
Ooh,
If it's
that's a long way away.
if it's
I
a
don't think
long
you
way
could.
away, don't
yeah,
worry.
I don't
about
think
it.
you could.
I'm not about the
That's
blast
hundreds.
the
Yeah,
actual
hundreds
point.
of miles away.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
I
Just
don't
under
think you
a little
could.
bit curvature.
I just wanted to know if there was like just on the edge of the horizon, if you could just
You could
see,
probably
like,
see the tips of the Serpent's Tongue range, which is sort of the on the south side of those is the desert. So you could probably see those, but I don't think you could see the actual desert itself. It's hundreds of miles.
Okay, well, he's going to stare wistfully at that, not that anyone can tell.
Yeah, sure.
But yeah, then we're on our way.
Stare windfully.
So,
Oh, you get to be wind
Good.
when you stare with
Give yourself
your home.
inspiration.
Thanks, buddy.
There you go.
so here's a question actually that's not super important, but is this concentration? I don't think it
It's
is.
your spell breath.
Yeah, I know, but like, I didn't think this was
No.
going to come up, but
No,
No,
it's
probably
not.
not, because usually when they're like long-term spells, they're not.
I could theoretically cast this on someone and they could just do it themselves. I'm not actually like ferrying them.
Correct. Yeah.
Just for future reference, just out of
Yeah.
curiosity.
Yeah. You don't need to be included.
Yeah, we
in
could
the
all
ritual.
kind of be like,
Yeah.
make sure you're on the ground when this ends. It's not a problem for me.
Ah, fucks. Druids are so cool.
Yeah.
Anyway.
This might have been the biggest, like, if we're doing class tier list, like, this is probably the one that has bumped up the most for me playing it.
Druid. Yeah.
Granted, it's just the flavor of Druid that's basically just a wizard, but still.
Druids fuck.
Anyway, so yes, following the coast, you head out over Eastmarch, which is the sort of like border region at the eastern edge of Arcadia. Following along the coast, you see scattered towns and sea villages and ports until, at long last, I don't know that you would know exactly. Well, we'll say you got directions. But yeah, following the coast, eventually, peering down below you, you see over across the water, multiple ships kind of going in and out. You take this to be the big seaside port of Waylaid. The city itself is built out of the shoreline. The whole city is set on sort of like gangplanks, and on raised up rafters out of the shallows of the ocean. The bulk of the city actually sits out over the sea. And as you descend through the air, you can see it's not as it's a far cry from the sort of illustrious port of Arcadia, sort of just like a hodgepodge of like shanty wooden villages spreading out into the shallow waters of the sea here, and then off to the further to the east, you can see as you begin to descend, you can see the dark, marshy treetops in the forests of Gollinswog's Bog. It sits like right at the edge of, sort of where the edge of the bog meets the sea. It's sort of at the tri-corners of the bog, the fields of Eastmarch and the coastline. And as you descend yourselves down, coming to land, sort of amidst the gangplanks of Waylaid, you see a lot of different individuals milling about. Though notably here, you see many more. You see a lot more like orcs and hobgoblins, and even a few lizard people scattered about. Like Arcadia is a very diverse place, but even so, you don't see a lot of these more fringe elements. You're seeing here.
So we can't bet that if we see another spider lady here, she's a sibling. We're probably gonna assume that she's an independent agent. No.
Maybe.
Do not assume. Yeah. Yeah. So this place, it's kind of a lot like Riften, just like
The best city?
Yeah, with the sort of like boardwalks built out over the water. You know what I mean?
So like sort of like an upper and a lower level too, or like
and as you peer over the edge of maybe as you come down to land, you can tell there's there's a second, maybe sometimes even a third tier as the city continues.
How grungy? Like, what's the general?
It's salty. You know, it's not run. I wouldn't say run down. You know, it's not like Crabber's Cove you visited in the pirate
It was
ship
giving me
model.
like flapjack vibes of all things. That was just like the first thing that came to mind.
Not dissimilar, maybe a little more upscale.
A little more upscale.
Yeah.
And I mean that as a compliment.
This is a place like it's a stopover on a major trade route. You know what I mean? So like it's wealthy, but people pass. It's a place people pass through.
Yeah, gather some supplies for your voyage into Arcadia.
Exactly.
Oh, early St. Louis.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. Not incorrect. So you kind of descend, getting some strange looks from some of the passerbys as you corporeate back into yourselves.
Ooh, nice word.
Thank you very much. And you seem to land sort of just in a sort of main sort of thoroughfare. There's lots of buildings surrounding.
Can we say that it's just?
You can land wherever you want.
We don't need to immediately.
Yeah,
You
do
call
you
it
wanna-
good
Do you want to
people.
land sort of at the edge of the
Yeah, let's do it.
You're
that
making
way.
people nervous.
Let me
Stop
not-
pouring.
Let me not
Exactly.
make decisions for you. Yeah. So you land at the edge of the city.
Interesting fact: as long as this spell lasts, you can take a minute over that any time during the 8 hours to reassume.
To
blood
recast
form.
it.
Yeah,
Interesting.
No, not even just like anyone who's been affected can
Yeah.
just do it themselves.
So it can be on and off.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Like that.
I'm going to keep that in mind for the rest of this episode. Or the rest of the day, anyway.
Yeah.
But by the way, what time is it?
Good question. Which is taking you a couple hours to get back to the city. So we'll say you left there around midday. Flying at 300 feet per 6 seconds.
That's
It would have. God, it probably would have only taken you like an hour to get
It's
there.
50 feet per second.
that was.
So
We
we'll
were
say
going
it's sometime in the afternoon.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, mid-afternoon.
Now, can someone jog my memory? Is it on a specific ship? There was a shipment that was waylaid.
Yes,
It's
that
going
one.
through the marshes or
Remembering
something?
things is not my strong suit. My
Well,
scarf could tell
it
you.
came from the Rashi Steppe
Hmm.
and got stuck here. is
Yeah.
what
Well,
it
so
was.
he wasn't quite sure what happened to it. Well, I think all that he said was that it was lost somewhere around. The ship was lost somewhere around Waledo. And I don't remember if I told you the name of the ship, but we'll say that he would have. We'll say that it was the Inigo. Was the name of the ship.
Yes, it was.
So, we simply find someone who is in charge of dock-related things. Maybe if they know the name of the ship, this Inigo that he mentioned to us, Luther did that, he did.
Yes, I remember it.
We all do. My scarf and I both.
Mhm.
And then we see where the ship is. It was waylaid by pirates. We've dealt with pirates by now,
We have, yes.
so we know how to deal with them.
Mhm.
Shins.
Yes.
Where does it look like a docks master might be from here?
So there are pretty much the entire perimeter of the city seems to be a port. There are ships coming and going, of various sizes. As you make your way along the gangplanks, no one pays you much mind. Everyone seems to be about their business. There are a lot of sailors and dock workers, unloading and loading cargo, and but there are, several officials kind of moving about with clipboards, sort of taking inventory of things coming in, things going out. A series of sort of like harbor masters who have maybe control over any number of the individual docks and ports.
Any heraldry or colors of Arcadia, the Republic itself?
No, so Waledo is not part of the Republic as such.
Cool.
It's sort of it's not a city state. It's just Waledo.
Yeah.
It just kind of manages.
It's an independent harbor.
Yeah,
itself,
right.
Sure. A free port.
I'm gonna go up to Sydney with the clipboard then.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so making your way, you walk up to a tall, broad hobgoblin with his thick black hair tied back into a ponytail. Who seems to be he has teeny tiny little spectacles that like perch ever so gracefully on the tip of his broad nose. And he's looking with a furrowed brow down at a shipping manifest, flipping pages back and forth.
I'm so sorry to interrupt you.
We're looking for a docks master or a harbour master to track down a missing ship.
Oh, well, I'd say you found one. What is it I can do for you?
We're looking for a ship called the Inigo.
Inigo.
Uh-huh.
Inigo. And he starts flipping through pages. May I ask what the purpose of the inquiry is?
There's been a delayed shipment we've been sent to retrieve.
Well, get in line, I'm afraid. Let's see, Inigo, and he flips back through a few pages of the manifest. Yes, Inigo, it was scheduled, but it never made port. Probably one of the ones taken by the Leviathan, I'm afraid to say.
The what?
The Leviathan. We haven't had much trouble with it, but it was never a trouble before, but lately it's a massive creature that makes its home somewhere deeper in the bog. It's been harassing the shipping lanes, causing a right trouble. We sent out mercenary groups, sent letters to the Republic for ships from the arsenal, even tried to hire pirates to take it down, but no one's been managed to bring back its head yet.
What sort of creature is this Leviathan, yes?
Well, I wish I could tell you precisely. That's just what we've chosen to call it. Anyone who's come across it hasn't survived, so we don't have an eyewitness account of it. The lizards deeper into the bog have some knowledge of it, but they're rather stingy with their company.
Well, luckily for you, the Republic has sent some representatives to deal with it, I suppose.
Is that right? You seem rather enthusiastic.
Yeah, it's like, well,
I guess.
This is mostly a favor for a friend.
I bulk at
Entirely.
the hero title. It's just a lot of weight for one.
I mean, you're the one who said the word hero, I don't know.
Well, don't get me wrong, I'd certainly be grateful to bring an end to the beast, but we sent entire companies out after the thing. I don't know exactly what 5 of you are going to do.
Clark! Oh God!
Hey. Not see you.
I guess Clark was flying with us as well.
He's been here the whole time.
It's even push!
And Clark just...
Yeah, right, guys.
We didn't know how to do
Well,
it.
did you want to bring Clark or didn't you?
Yes.
Yeah.
He's like, this might as well happen.
And deny him this amazing opportunity to fulfill his blood oath.
Yeah, right.
I
It's
don't
so
think
like
he let us leave him behind.
I fucking didn't plan it out this way, but it's so perfect that he's a bugbear because they're naturally stealthy, so you just constantly forget he's there. It's kind of perfect.
He's always under like overhangs and shades and stuff. We're like, Clark, what are you doing out there? We can barely see you. He's like, oh.
He's just always a little bit out of frame. Like the camera just pans over a foot, and
That's
you
where I
can
definitely
see.
stood. I don't
You
know.
can't even see me.
You go into the game code and you monitor that the aspect ratio changes and he's off frame.
He's just behind you. All you see is a shadow.
Except for the couple of times he glitches out and he's like right here.
It's like PT, he's just always behind you.
Yeah.
Hey man, I mean no offense, of course. I'm sure the city only sends forth its best, but
Actually-
the city didn't send us at all.
Not yet, sir. Actually, in response to him saying, you guys don't look like a company or, you don't look like you can handle it, can I half reactivate the spell just to make our bottom halves, like, kind of go wispy?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you do so, and so all of your legs suddenly become wind, like you're the genie from Aladdin. And the.
He's never had a company like us.
And he like stares a little slack-jawed, and his glasses slide a little bit down.
I push him back up.
then again, oh, maybe you can. Who am I to judge? Well, you could make your way out to sea with a ship laden with goods. I'm sure he'd find you sooner or later. Or if you don't want to risk your lives in quite so foolhardy a manner, I'd talk to the lizards farther into the bog. They have a settlement not too far from here.
Oh, whereabouts? If you give directions, we're good at following those.
Just follow the mouth of the river into the bog a ways. You'll come to it eventually.
Wonderful.
Thank you, good sir.
No, I don't know that we caught your name. I'm so sorry.
Carnum, Harbour Master here.
Carnum, thank you for your help.
Numb or dumb?
Carnum.
No.
Cardamom.
Carnum.
Yeah.
Corporal.
Well, we shall see about your Leviathan. If you don't hear from us, either it's gone or it's not.
Well said.
Well, we'll find. Well, if any more ships disappear, then we'll have our answer.
How long has this been happening? They've been disappearing, these ships.
A few months now.
I just kind of rub my temples.
What?
Does that have some significance for you?
Things have been happening all over this area.
There's a disturbance in the force somewhere.
I don't know what that is, but yes.
Well, you know, I get a lot of sailors through here, and sailors love nothing more than gossip. We've had our share of dark rumors about famine, monsters, plague, all manner.
Good news. The plague and the famine are taken care of.
Oh,
See if we can put one more rumor to bed.
just knocking them off the list then, are we?
You'd be amazed at how close that is to the truth.
Yeah, well, I'm liable to believe you. Well,
You're a busy man, Master Carnum. Thank you for your time.
You said to follow the river?
Right, follow the river back northwards up towards the bog. If you stick close to the banks, you'll come across their settlement in about a few hours. Do be wary, though. They're a skittish bunch. Don't much care for outsiders.
Is the river flowing in the direction that we're traveling?
No, you would be going against the current.
Okay, then let's let
On your go, Kashak.
I think you just. The camera cuts back to Carnum. How do I do that?
Oh no, but they left me behind again.
No,
Clark, no!
So, as wind, you follow the mouth of the one of the sort of. So this is sort of right at the entire bog kind of sits in the massive delta of a river flowing down from the World's Edge Mountain to the north. So you follow the one of the strands of the delta further into the bog. As you do so, all of you grow immediately more grateful of Kashek's ability to turn you into wind, because you can tell that this would be really tough traversing, were you not able to fly through the air.
You look down and see all of the DM's hard work.
There it is.
There's a tall man with brown hair down there just angrily shoving things.
Just shaking a fist up to the sky.
Is that a hex crawl?
There would probably be a lot of checks you would have to make, and maybe some things to find. But off you go. And so, before too long, I'm picturing you kind of like zooming down, weaving between tree trunks, and maybe falling over the open water of the river flowing through. Kashek, this place is perhaps a particular marvel to you. I mean, you've been out on the ocean now, but even so, you've never quite seen land so... And were you not wind, as difficult it would be to navigate this place, it is beautiful. You can hear this is a... You know, the fields of Arcadia are portioned off into farmland, and the curated sort of forests of the gentry and the capital and along the keeplands are just like very edited. But here is like primordial and raw nature, and you know the sounds of animals here are deafening. You can hear the creaking of cicadas and the squawking of birds and the low rumblings of a crocodile as you zoom over the water, and it rolls and kicks up a big splash as it goes back into the water. And
Just mentally cataloging every animal I see.
Yeah, fair enough. And as you go deeper and deeper in, you know the vegetation is unlike anything you've ever seen before in the Mediterranean climate of the Republic. There's hanging moss and beautiful orchids you can rarely catch eye of as you make your way through the tangled trees. Yes, Maddie?
So just based on the warning that the lizard folk are a bit skittish to outsiders, should we maybe see where they are and then circle back and approach on foot? Because I'm just we're 2 for 2 of appearing out of thin air and someone being startled.
No, we explicitly did not do that.
Yeah.
But I think that is a fine notion, yes.
Alright, that's all.
Yeah, so you make your way, continuing up, and before too long, the river widens a bit, and you catch sight of these. It seems as if some manner of sort of like irrigated channels have been carved into the banks of the river, not necessarily to grow crops as you would expect, but you can just see rivulets of fish working their way through them. These are accompanied by what seem to be sort of just basic mud huts built up out of the ground. And you can see from your vantage several large-scaled figures moving about, holding spears and clubs and sort of rudimentary weapons. What would you like to do?
Corporealize out of sight.
Yes. Find some place on the bank away from them and then make our way.
Okay. Yeah, so you touch down a ways away from this little settlement that you've come across and corporeate back to yourselves.
Wow, this feels very different when you're not a cloud.
Oh yeah, it's
we have
gonna
to
be
get our land
humid and
legs
gross.
back.
It's like being, I think, inside of a cactus for you, Kashek.
I have never felt heat that was wet. I am not liking it.
Oh yeah, good point. Yeah, your feathers are because owls are like they're one of the few birds that like they can't fly when they're wet. So your feathers like drink in the moisture.
I wish I am damp.
Here, I have an emergency towel. I don't know if it would help because it's the air.
It's always very useful to have a towel.
Yes. People know you
That's
look
why
like
you
you know
brought
you look like you know what you're doing if you have a towel.
I'm gonna take my cloak off and just be in my monk garb and feel naked.
Mm-hmm.
It's not as warm as I thought it would be though.
It's pretty warm.
It's pretty well. Yeah, it's not that
Resistant
bad.
to heat
It's
to
pretty
fire.
steamy.
So.
Fair enough.
It's not really that bad.
Jumping off of that, I think Kashek's gonna be actually naked.
Okay, giddy up.
Oh, I thought you were about to say. I think
He has no idea that that's gonna be weird for people, so he just disrobes immediately because he hates the feeling.
You don't have nipples, right? It's fine.
No. And he has no idea of what the term nudity really means. He wears the clothes because they keep him warm.
And he flows like the wind.
Oh.
That is slightly better. I am still unhappy.
Well, whatever brings you closest to happy.
Now what?
Yeah, what are we looking for?
Oh.
Just information?
We're
Talking to people?
Yes, we are curious about Leviathan and where it may have taken
Right.
its prizes from the sea.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a pretty
Sounds
solid line of questioning, assuming any of them speak common, or the languages I know. Ooh!
That's not a problem.
Oh, yeah.
I understand
If
most
they
spoken
could.
language.
Oh.
Oh, great.
Well,
I can't
never mind.
speak back to them, but
Well, if they wrote stuff down, I could read it.
If they speak the language of dragons, I can help. I can do that.
Between
Oh, me
the two of
too.
you, we have
Right.
one fluent speaker.
All right, I will push forward in what looks the closest way to if there's a road or path that leads to the place.
Yeah.
We saw people.
There's not necessarily paths, but you can kind of like bushwhack your way through back towards where you know this.
I don't want it to be a surprise when we appear from the brush.
Fair enough. Yeah, fair enough.
So you want to make a lot of noise?
Not necessarily, just like
Claude,
trying not to be sneaky.
the thing that you do,
Mhm.
can you do it just a bit less for the time being?
What's the thing that I do?
What? Protect Hyros?
No, you're very quiet, and that's very admirable, but we're trying not to sneak up on these people.
Ah!
Okay, let's dial
Ah!
Lower, lower, lower.
Ah!
Middle ground?
Maybe stick with the quiet.
Okay.
Yeah. Sarah, what are we trying to do? I think this man has two. He has two positions. One is open Clark, one is closed Clark.
Can I actually retroactively say something?
Yeah.
Kashek has a fairly large scar across his chest that you've not seen before. Since
Wake up!
That's
Babe,
you.
new Kashek backstory just dropped.
Which
Now
one?
he's naked.
Probably just manifests as a slight, like.
You can see like a divot in
Yeah.
the feathers. Yeah.
Interesting. Interesting.
clocked.
Oh.
So what's the plan for?
I was gonna say.
What is the plan for making yourselves known?
Good evening, good evening. Hello, we are here.
I'm just not attempting to sneak.
Okay.
Yeah, for you that's still sneaky. For me, it's not.
Yeah.
So you make your way, sort of crawling your way through the thick underbrush out into the slightly more
Oh,
open.
I'll start singing. That's what I'll do.
Okay. Yeah, you go. Give
I'll-
me a performance
I'll
check.
sing one of the sea songs that we learned from the lads.
From Tierna.
Yes.
I cannot play a sitar while walking, can I? They're almost exclusively a sitting instrument.
Specifically sitars, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I would.
If you'd chosen anything else.
anything else, but that's okay.
What am I doing? Or am I doing? Or am I just doing this? Yeah. I don't know why. I thought you were asking me for a check. I don't know.
No, yeah, give me a check. Let's see what happens.
For what is
It's D&D. We should roll some dice.
I'm singing a sea song that we learned. That I learned from Adrastos.
Adrastos,
That
yeah.
maybe would have been one of the same ones that the lads aboard whatever the fucking derelict ship we dragged into Crabber's Cove.
Oh, but the lyrics were all like slightly weird.
Maybe a little bit different, yeah. It's probably something singing the praises of Miranda and Arcadia because they like doing this. So, performance is a grand total of that's 19.
Excellent. All right. So you make your way sort of coming out of the thick undergrowth into the slightly more open area where you can see the channels and the sort of... Although now you see no one, whereas before, when you were flying overhead, you could see a number of lizard folk going about their business belowhand. But you make your way out, Hyros still singing, until suddenly you hear a rustle of commotion and movement and are suddenly entirely surrounded by lizards. Some of them burst out of the water from the banks. Some of them come directly up out of the mud behind you. Others descending from the trees above. And suddenly you are surrounded by a cohort of them all leveling spears with, sharpened bone-tipped heads at you.
Oh, merry man!
They look at you, all of them, with their eyes, their pupils widened out so their eyes are completely black like a shark, leveling their weapons at you.
Showing them we have nothing in our
We're
hands.
showing them
I got my staff.
We're not threatening them with that, though.
He drops the staff.
Good idea.
Good idea.
He keeps the wings up.
Anyone have any comment?
You will know this, but for our viewers at home, my lizard folk, when they speak, they do it much the way that a parrot does. They don't articulate with their mouths. They just sort of drop and maneuver their jaws, creating the sounds more with their tongues and throat muscles than with the articulators as
Sure.
warmbloods do. But one of them, a big, like greenish blue fella with a orange crest, leveling an enormous spear at you, drops his fanged maw, and begins to speak. State your business.
We are travelers seeking the Leviathan and any cargo it may have stolen from the sea.
You seek Titanwa, the serpent.
We seek what it may have stolen.
How is it you trekked through the swamplands? It is treacherous.
If you can believe it, we might have snuck up upon you. We were doing you a favor by announcing our presence.
I will hear it. How did you maneuver the swamplands?
Kasha, can you show them, please?
I'll just reactivate it on myself for this. And
Taking your windy form?
can I specifically do Aang dropping into the northern oasis?
Yes.
I assume there's water.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'll appear behind him.
Yes, great.
You're gonna get stabbed.
And not like breathing down his neck behind him.
It's a
but-
friendship stab.
Yes.
I'm here now!
So and as you take your place again and come back to your feathered self,
Behind you, friend.
a murmur goes amongst them as they make sort of like low, guttural, like velociraptor sounds to each other.
Do I understand this? If it's in Draconic,
Draconic.
Do you speak Draconic?
yes.
Yeah,
My
yeah.
scarf does.
Ah, great! Yes, you would then.
I speak Draconic too.
There you go.
Yeah, absolutely. So both of you would then. So great. Yes. So you do understand them. So they're all like muttering to each other, and they're saying things to the effect of, "The one who walks of wind, just as the oracle foretold." He has commented. Could it be? Could it be? Could it truly be?
Oh, that's way too much power. You're just giving me. They seem to think I'm some sort of golden god. Not to reference one of the worst Star Wars movies,
Yeah.
but here we are.
And then the one who speaks comment, they sort of bring up their weapons. And the one who spoke to you before with the orange crest says, "You will come with us."
I will.
Ooh.
We would be glad to accompany you.
Your feelings on the matter are irrelevant. You are coming with us.
Noted.
Can I gash us back through him and collect my staff?
Yeah. Follow me. And they turn and begin to make their way deeper into the forest.
So this is a good start. I think they're impressed with your turning into a cloud.
Yes.
That is nice.
That might get us somewhere with them.
See, Freddy wants to be evil and use that
Yeah.
against people, but Kashak.
Essentially, what they were saying along the lines of,
Oh, right. Was that in common or in Draconic?
No, that was in Draconic.
Oh,
yeah, they were all saying
yeah.
they were all speaking in Draconic to each other.
they,
Which is great, because can you imagine if he said, "You will come with me," and nobody had any context for what they were saying?
Yeah.
No, no.
Yeah.
Kashak was just trying to be polite.
Yeah.
He didn't recognize the threat.
This is your home, I will come.
Yeah, no, that's not true. He absolutely recognized it.
they think that they have some sort of prophecy related to a wind walker.
Oh,
Mhm.
well, I am certainly one. I do not think I am this sort of person.
But what if you are? That's exciting.
I don't put much stock in prophecy.
I didn't until I met a certain deck of cards.
Oh.
Yes.
There are strange things in this world, Master Kashak, as I'm sure you know.
Fair enough.
We follow. So they lead you through the forest. Winding your way through the thick underbrush and now making your way on foot, you find it much less comfortable than transporting across the winds.
Tall man with the brown hair is just shaking his head disapprovingly from one of the bushes.
But they lead you on for quite a distance. You make your way through the boggy swamps for about an hour. All of the lizard folk in absolute silence, passing cursory glances at Kashek all the way. But otherwise not betraying any intention or emotion. Until finally, you come to what looks to be a sort of sheer cliff face. And that same lizard folk with the orange crest who spoke to you before, he looks at Kashek and says, "It was foretold you're coming. You are about to be shown a great secret. This is one you must keep, elsewise we will tear out your tongues and spoon out your eyes, wrap your tongue around your eyes, and throw them into the deepest, darkest, muddiest pit in the swamp, so you will never be able to sense the glory of what you are about to see again."
I enjoy clarity of consequence.
The spell is still
The spell is still
He doesn't
active.
actually.
It is good to know.
Take reverence, warm bloods. You are about to witness the glory of our kind. And all of a sudden, all of you are shoved from behind towards the cliff face, and sort of stumbling forwards, you pass through the hanging vines, obscuring a cave-like structure behind, and immediately begin sliding down this enormous sort of mudslide. And you're sort of picking up speed. It's like Wild Jungle in Sonic Adventure 2. Yeah. And you're sort of sliding through this dark cave, and suddenly the roof of which vanishes, and you are again opened up to the canopy of the forest. And you continue to slide, and you're heading downward, picking up speed towards this sort of ramp, which skews upwards, and you're launched off of it.
I'm not gonna lie, we're holding on to each other, and so he's like, "I don't want to be buddy, I don't want to be buddy," and I've been kind of starting to laugh to myself a lot.
Oh, Kashak's gonna do a flip.
And you can see, as you're casting your heads around, looking up behind you, all the lizard folk on their bellies, like a toboggan, like a penguin, kind of sliding down the mudslide behind you. And you're launched up into the air, falling through the sky until you land in cool, cool, slowly running water. And as you break back above the surface, you shake your heads and wipe the water out of your eyes, and you hear the lizard folk all splash heavily into the water behind you. And as the
How deep is this?
you can't feel the bottom.
I grab her.
I can grab all three if I need to.
You know how to swim?
No! Oh no! Why would I learn to swim?
That's fair.
I'll grab Kashek. He's probably heavier because of the
I
water.
got you.
Damper.
I got you.
So you're all treading water, keeping your corsage forms afloat. Clark is like, oh, that was fun. And as you shake the water from your heads and clear the droplets from your eyes, and you sort of get your bearings, you are stunned. As, the first little settlement you came across was, those channels in the bankside and some mud huts. But now, staring out across the water, on the banks surrounded by the tall, tangling trees of the bog, a vast city of gold.
Whoa!
And I think we'll call it there.
El Thanks for joining us on this verse of the Last Song of Arcadia. It featured Ian Agnew as Hyros, Madison Cadulo as Saren, Freddie Nietzsche as Kashek, Robin Fender as Suri, and Trevor Fail as the Dungeon Master. Crit Out of Luck is brought to you with help from our Patreon supporters. If you had fun listening today, you can also support us at patreon.com/critoutofluck. Stay cool.